FromSA pricing, because this is quite interesting from a contractual perspective. Microsoft, when they started with cloud licensing, what you typically saw was that they were trying to map a pro desktop and an enterprise desktop to a Microsoft 365 suite. And they said, well, obviously you're going to pay a little bit of a premium because we are going to run cloud services for you. So we do the hosting and it's in our data center and we take care of the management, etc., etc. So it's going to be a bit more costly to what you were used to in the on-premises world. And the way they look at it is envisioned on the right-hand side. So a pro or an enterprise desktop with an add-on, which is a licensing vehicle to grant people with a pro or an enterprise desktop licenses in their EA the right to use cloud services. With an add-on on top of your pro and enterprise desktop, that price should total the cloud subscription cost of Microsoft 365 E3 or E5. So the cost on the left side and the right side between the two should be equal. However, there were a lot of customers moving from a pro or enterprise desktop to Microsoft 365, and they said, well, I've been paying my software licenses and software assurance for years. And now that I want to innovate and I want to move to the cloud, you're telling me that I have to pay a premium in order to make this move to the cloud. Well, Microsoft thought of something and they call that FromSA pricing, where they say, if you have licensed software assurance in a pro or an enterprise desktop for a long period of time, then you have the option to buy Microsoft 365 E3 or E5 FromSA prices, which have a premium of 15% to the full Microsoft 365 suite. And this is to incentivize you to move to the Microsoft cloud. It will not be that much more expensive than an enterprise desktop. This is also true for the different components. So if you're buying an enterprise CAL, you can move to, for instance, Enterprise Mobility and Security E3 FromSA. Or if you're buying Office Professional Plus, you have the right to move to Office 365 Professional Plus FromSA. Same with Windows, etc., etc. So if you have had software assurance in an enterprise agreement for minimum of 3 years, then you can benefit from FromSA pricing. Does it work the same in an enterprise agreement subscription? Yes, but you would have to show that you had 3 full years of coverage of license plus software assurance for your pro or enterprise desktop in order to qualify for Microsoft 365 E3 or E5 FromSA licensing. Additionally, you get to continue this over the course of your contracts. So if you sign up to Microsoft 365 E3 FromSA now, you still have the option to license them in 3 years' time on the same licensing service. So still benefit from that FromSA pricing until God knows when, until Microsoft thinks of something new. And this is how they state that in the product terms. So like I said, this is available for all Microsoft Online services that have an on-premises counterpart. Appendix C of the product term states all FromSA entitled licenses. So they're more than the ones that I showed you on the previous slide. For instance, if you invested in Skype for Business on-premise or something, you can even have a phone system FromSA, or you have Dynamics 365 on-premise. You can get to Dynamics 365 cloud services FromSA. As a concession, Microsoft is willing to sometimes grant you more FromSA licenses than you are entitled to. Be sure to always discuss your options. So if you see growth towards the future and you're renewing your contract, always discuss with Microsoft what the possibility is on FromSA pricing. Even if you qualify only for a limited amount of FromSA, you can always have the discussion with them.